All righty then. Live from Columbus, OH. That was a pretty good O that time. This is Answering Your Financial Questions Live with Coach Steve Money. All right. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and that was me again that you heard. Well, I verified that we got good sound, and we have good sound. So that's my fun little kid voice. Usually my daughter would do that all the time, where you just, you know, put too much accent on the words and end it with for no reason. Sound. So she would add the N before the I sound before the N. So it would be sound when it's supposed to be sound. And so, but even the people that go sound, kids do that for some reason. Just because they're hitting the last consonant very hard, I suppose. But regardless of that, let's not talk about that the entire episode. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me by emailing coachstevemoney@gmail.com. It also says that in the ticker below. And you can see you're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. That's my homepage, and if you just scroll past the Oak Island and the Skinwalker Ranch playlist, you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show, and that starts at 11:05 a.m. on the weekdays that I'm able to do that. And Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and that is an 8 p.m. stream, and that's the one you're watching right now, whether you're watching it now live or later. And so I do that one when I can't do the morning stream. Sometimes I can't do either of them. And so that does happen. But normally on pretty much daily, I can do one or the other. I'd say at least 6 days a week, probably 5 or 6 days anyway. Alrighty. Oh, also the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Let me go back and get one that I don't do that much. I guess did that one. Did Rachel Cruz the other day. Whoops. That is my bad. I should not have done that. There we go. Okay, almost playing the. Don't want to get copywritten and hit on the live stream, so I don't think that'll do it. But that's Darius Rucker and Hootie and the Blowfish song. Only Want to Be With You, and I changed it to When You're on Baby Step 2. No spending money to seem cool. Bum, bum. When you're on Baby Step 2. Alrighty. Hey, let's get into some questions. We are moving. Did I do the bankruptcy one? Yes, I did. That would be the last option. Billy Bob, $38.99. We're moving to a new school district. Is it smart to sell our home and invest it all into Roth retirement assets? Well, you can't. There's limits on Roth. Now, you can do a backdoor Roth, but you're still going to be limited as far as what you can put in a like, because you would have to open an IRA first, and then put money in it. This is how this works. You can buy the IRA, you fund it, and then before buying any investments with it, then you convert it to a Roth. And now Mr. Ramsey does that every single year. And so, but of course, that is only good to 7,500s for olds, I believe now. And it's I think 7,000. I can't remember the limits for under 50 and over 50 at the moment. I feel like though it's 7,500. It might have gone up to 8,000. I don't recall, but regardless, so you can't say you're just getting even $30,000 from your selling your home. So you're getting what I say, $30,000. So you can't even put that on there. Couldn't put that in there. I believe. Let me make sure the IRA is the same. That might just be Roth IRA. IRA contribution limits. Yeah, IRA contribution limit is 7,000 for individuals under 50 and 8,000 for those age 50 and older. All right. Well, we found out that answer. I know it's answer. I'm saying that to be funny. Just for fun. I'm 29 and my wife is 27. We're both self-employed and our only debt is our mortgage at 30% of our gross income. It's been doable, but we have felt tight at times, which is why Mr. Ramsey says to keep it at 25%. Imagine that. Especially after investing in newborn expenses, we are right. And that's why he tells you to not buy too much house. Even buy 5% more, and now you think that's tight. And that is the reason, because you're not done after buying a house. So, you get the first 3 baby steps done. Cool. You save the down payment. That's step 3B. But even after you buy the house, then you still have to do steps 4, 5, and 6 still. And so that's why Mr. Ramsey doesn't want you to be debt free. But yeah, so you can't do that. You could sell your house and invest it. But what you should do is sell your house and do not get a new mortgage. Use the equity in your house and sell and save up the difference between that, the equity, and the full purchase price of the home, and buy it in cash. The idea is to not constantly be upgrading house and taking on more debt, or retaking on debt even. Where are we at? Investing in newborn expenses. We are wanting to move to a new school district, so that means you don't have to. You don't need to. Well, you have to for the baby. No, you don't. My question is it smart to sell a current home, invest the net profit, $100K after closing fees, into Roth retirement? You can't. And start over in a small starter home with a similar mortgage balance. In doing so, we'd have about $165,000 in Roth. Yeah, so you can't do that without ever contributing again. You can't do that. Let's see. Oh, they're the Roth 401k, so they can go up to the limit on that, and that is something like, let's take a look at that. What is the 401k limits? And I feel like for me, it's like 30. It was 32, so maybe it's 35 now. 401k. And it would be the same for, let's see, 23. 2350. Okay, maybe they didn't raise that then. Age 50, you contribute an addition of 7,500. So that's going to be for old people, which they are not. That would be 3,100 or 31,000. Excuse me. New for in 2025, employees age 60 to 63 have a special catch-up contribution limit of 11 to 50, allowing them to contribute a total of $34,750. If you're in a second home, then it's not a starter home. Did they say starter home? Did I miss where it said that? Oh yeah, and start over in a small starter home. Yeah, you're right. Good catch there. I would have gotten to there eventually. I just, I have to read a little bit of the question and then respond immediately because I can't remember the first paragraph once I get done with the whole thing. Starting with a small starter home with similar mortgage balance. Okay, what you're trying to do here is a thing that Mr. Ramsey calls scheming and scamming. And he can recognize it very fast because he did a lot of that in his early days. And he still does that sometimes until Sharon Ramsey gets the frying pan out and then he thinks better of it and doesn't do the scheming and scamming. In doing so, we'd have about, so without ever contributing again. So we got that. Assuming the 10% return. And yes, that's safe to assume. We both have Roth 401ks, 47K max contribution combined, and Roth IRAs, 14 max contribution combined. Right. So you can't put it all into the Roth. I mean, so you could do up to the 14 there and the 47. As you said, you could do that, but you got 100,000 equity, so you can't do all of it anyway. You could do a lot of it, but that would not be the advice. The advice would be to keep it as equity in a house, and also I'm going to tell you to rethink moving to that good school district, because hey man, our only debt is our mortgage at 30% of our gross income. I'm going to guess the new school district might be a higher cost of living area, and that means the houses are going to cost more. And so that means now that you have a newborn, most people want to buy a larger house, not a smaller house. And so I think you're just being nutty here with all of this. It would take 2 years or a few months since we're nearing year end of maxing out all of these with net profit of home sale. Oh, true. You can finish maxing out for the year, and then in January you can put the difference in there. So you could do that, but you couldn't do it all at one time. It would be 100K before taxes. Oh, I guess before the gains on the equity, I guess. Yeah. So you guys would have to pay that as well. So yeah. So if you think about it that way, you probably could do most of it into what you had. Is this a dumb idea? Yes. To essentially start over on home equity, but theoretically never have to worry about contributing to retirement again with a similar mortgage amount. No, Mr. Ramsey would tell you still to put 15% in. Current mortgage, $2,500 a month. And so what do you think? The new mortgage, $2,500, 5.5. So a little bit less. That's got 19 years left, and they would be switching to a 15-year mortgage. But I'm going to go ahead and guess that since it's exactly the same, that's just what you have in your mind, and you haven't even actually priced homes in that new school area. And if it's a better school district, it might be a higher cost of living as well. And you didn't factor that in your scheming and scamming. Net business income profit, $100,000. What does that mean? Net business income. What are you talking about? Are you talking about selling the house? is like a business move for you, and so you're counting that as profit of $100,000. I don't know what that is. So, and why that would be here with the mortgage, the current and new mortgage information. So I don't know, but you really want to do it. And let's see, 51 comments. I'm not going to get into all that. No need to anyway, because I think I got pretty much all of it. But so you wouldn't, again, the idea is to not move when you don't have to. You're just moving because you want to. And the idea would be that you, for example, you would, if you're going to keep everything the same, you would move and put all the equity back into it. And so you would end up having even less mortgage. Now, if you're talking about doing a 15-year fix, so that would have to be less mortgage. So you'd have to have probably some down payment as well, in addition to the equity, to keep things even, instead of investing and also, of course, if you do that and invest the money and not put the money on the new mortgage, that's called debt leverage. So that's a no on that. Beetlebot, okay. Dave Ramsey baby step help us once get mortgage free, and we will do it again to pay off our new to us home. This is the same thing. This is the same dumb crap. The idea is not that you keep upgrading home and keep getting a higher mortgage. Use your equity in your current house and you save up the difference as a down payment on it, making the mortgage much lower. And hopefully you're just trading the current mortgage for a same amount or smaller amount of mortgage. So that's not the idea, to keep doing this whenever you feel like it, or whenever you think of an excuse like a school district or something like that. Highway Night 94. Sell and rent or contingency. You mean keep the house for contingency reasons? Like what? People are nutty, and I expect this to be no different. Oh my goodness gracious me. We're in baby step 6, I'll skim. We're in baby step 6, lived in our home over 10 years now, and you want to go to a lower baby step, maybe? Let's see. First home we bought right after getting married, did the debt thing for about 6 years and got tired of that. Did the Ramsey plan and is treated us well. Great. So don't do dumb stuff now. We've been paying down our home while also doing some upgrades. See, you wouldn't do the upgrades. Upgrades are not necessary. I would pay it off before doing any upgrades. A 3-bed, 1-bath, just finished bathroom remodel, not necessary. I would pay off the house first. Have the rest of the windows getting installed and into September, beginning of October. So is this going to be a never-ending saga of this happening? After that, we have a little bit of kitchen work to do, drywall, repairs, paint, lighting. Okay, the lighting is not an emergency. The paint is not an emergency either. Drywall repairs, you could argue with me on that. We did the major ones with debt several years back. Oh, and you say you did more. How much money have you sunk into this house that you do not have paid off yet? We're interested in upgrading home, though. Then why the heck are you doing all this remodeling and stuff? You are so dumb. Meaning sell ours and buy another. Would like a 3 to 4 bedroom with 2 baths and a little more breathing space. Doesn't say how many kids. We have our 6-month fully funded emergency fund. Great. And I've been setting aside money for a future down payment as well. And that is what you should do. But I think you're thinking about a much higher mortgage. We're tossing around the idea of selling our home and renting until we find a home within our price range so that we are ready to go with no strings attached when the right place comes up. No time frame expected. Could be 3 months, or it could be 3 years. We owe about $50K on our current home. It's worth around $165K. And why do you want to sell the house now then, if you don't even have a house to move to? And you say it could be 3 years, why don't you pay off that $50K? And then if you don't end up moving, you will have a paid off house. What would be the problem with that? And you could still save up money to upgrade later. As you say, it could be 3 years. We could take anything we get from our home sale, add it to the down payment, right? We have currently saved, and use all that towards the down payment and closing costs on a new place. We currently put $2K per month towards future down payment, $2K towards home projects. Yeah, stop doing that crap. If you're gonna move, make up your mind. You want to make it nice and stay there, or do you want to move? That's two different things. And $2K towards our current mortgage payment to pay it down. And now all that money should go to pay it off. We're looking at if you move and sell that house, then you can get it back. We're looking at 275 and under. Am I missing why this wouldn't make sense? Because you're spending money to fix up a house and to remodel a house that you do not have paid off and that you are thinking about leaving. That's dumb as crap. Finish the current projects and a few other odds and ends and still thinking of more stuff to do to it. That's going to cost more money. That's idiocy. Sell current home, rent for however long, and keep saving while saving the money we had planned to put into our current home. You're already putting it in there, and you said you have other odds and ends to do. Make up your mind. We would walk away, Renee. You won't see me following you back. With a little over $100,000 equity after closing costs. Plus the $30K we have saved, and roll the $6K we've been spreading between future down payment, extra principal payments, and house projects for the month, and to continue building our down payment. That's a no. You're being dumb. You're being dumb. You're spending so much money on the house. You've already spent a lot of money on the house, and you're only going to have $100K in equity, and you want to get something 275. So you're going to be $175,000 short. So the idea isn't to go from a $50K left house to a new $175 mortgage, $175,000 mortgage. You'd have other issues if you took out a $175 mortgage. I bet they would give it to you though. I'm not a risk taker at all. It's just from previous financial struggles before we did the baby steps. Well, you're still thinking of some of your dumb crap. You're still spending money and justifying it because it's for the house. Anything new and different to me is uncomfortable. Not doing house projects, apparently. But my wife has been talking about this idea for a while, and to me it makes sense, and we would have no issues doing it financially. Feel free to ask questions, and I appreciate you reading this much. Again, the idea is that you do not go from having a $50,000 mortgage. You have to pay that $50,000 off, and you would own the house outright, or you upgrade and be $175,000 in debt. So $125,000 more in debt than you are now, just so you can have a bigger house. You don't need to upgrade. I don't see anything that says anything about children. And if there were children, certainly this person would mention it, hashtag mention it, so that they could justify getting the bigger house. But even if you have kids, they don't need one either. So 3 beds is probably enough. That would be perfect for 2 kids. They get their own bedroom as well. And so unless you have a Brady Bunch situation, you don't need the bigger one. When we have more breathing room. Shut up with that dumb stuff. Again, it's not the idea for you to constantly be in a new mortgage. And then what, in 10 years you're going to be doing that? Well, I mean, you might not even have any money left when you start doing projects on the new house as well. It's just dumb. It's just dumb and not thought out well. It's just something, I guess, that your wife wants to do, and she apparently has Jedi mind tricked you into it, or, you know, you're just not thinking of the fact that you're going into more debt in order to do this. And Mr. Ramsey is the no debt guy and no debt leverage guy, in case you didn't remember that from the time when you were dumb and were doing debt, and then when you started doing his plan and you liked it because it was the right thing to do, except now you want to do your own thing because you want a bigger house. And so knock yourself out if you want to do that. That goes against the spirit of the Ramsey advice. Thank you, and this sucks. Let's see. So I've been listening to the book and working through lessons and set up on the Every Dollar app. I guess I'm down to about 20K in debt. Well, you could know that if you check. Being intentional means you are aware of these numbers and not, I guess I'm about 20K in debt now. How about we know more about our financial situation? See, that's being more intentional. I can see the light with the daily lessons. I've cut so many subscriptions and continue to do so. I'm going to stop investing in the market, which is a move that I've resisted since this started. I see the light now. I sold most of my crypto. You should sell all of it. There's no extra savings beyond the $1,000 emergency fund, the starter emergency fund, baby step 1. There's no extra savings, and there's definitely no extra investing, and Mr. Ramsey doesn't advise virtual currencies anyway. So you should sell all of it if you would like to follow the Ramsey advice. If not, you can do whatever dumb crap you want to do, and you don't need to run it by anybody on the internet. I haven't turned my retirement investing down yet. Why not? But it might be next on the list until I get past baby step 2. You should be not investing in anything, not crypto, not a brokerage account. If this is what you're talking about up here, that doesn't exist until step 7, my friend. It's only retirement investing in step 4. So you're doing it wrong. I got smacked with 6K tax bill, so I'm trying to lower my taxable income, which is why it's hard for me to turn down. I don't care about that at all. That's your dumbass fault for not having enough to pay your taxes, not having enough taken out. I'll do some math and see how much faster the extra money from, okay, whatever, baby. And this says baby step 1. This is baby step 1, so you're just dumb. You're not paying attention or something, because you wouldn't be paying off your debt. If you are in baby step 1, you would still be saving that $1,000 emergency fund. So you're doing everything wrong, sir. And this sucks. You suck because you're not following the advice of the guy that whose subreddit this name is taken from, or some words like that. Got confused in the middle of that. Casperation Catspiration 2, sorry, Catspiration 1 and Catspiration, probably taken. Should I keep going? On what? The Ramsey advice? The answer is yes. Hey, so I want to first start out and say I'm super thankful, totes, for coming across the Ramsey plan. Me too. It really helped me change a lot of aspects of my life. Me too. Started in 2021 with approximately 30,000 net worth, high credit card bills every month, and 75K yearly income. Fast forward to today, I have socked away $217,000 into my down payment fund. My income has increased to 160 and saved just about 50% of my post-tax income. So that should mean that you are on baby step 3B, which means you do have that fully funded emergency fund. That's not part of your down payment fund. That needs to be separate, and you need to have that first before you even save 1 cent towards the down payment. My only gripe with the Ramsey plan, Ramsey method, is the 15-year mortgage at 25% of after-tax pay. That's because I want to buy a bigger house than I should. That's because I want to buy a too much house. I don't care. Yes, you should keep going. You're not going to, probably, because you want to buy a bigger house. Even with a $217,000 down payment at 6% rates, I would qualify for a home with a top price of $417,000. Why do you need more than that? This is where I'm starting to struggle. Hey, lady. Is it a lady? I think it's a lady. Whatever you are, hey. You're dumb. Why do you need a $417,000 house? Yes, I could afford something at this price range, but let's see what the rest of the dumbness is. I could afford something at this price range, but homes in my area, expensive, no crap. I knew that was the issue already. Well, then that means you got to make more money or save a larger down payment, which means you don't do your dumbass investing yet. You're starting it too early if you want to get into a house really quickly. And so you would pause investing if you're already doing it, or you would have not started it to begin with while you saved up a larger down payment faster. Mr. Ramsey is fine with you not investing for up to 2 years so that you can do that. And that is the only hack for living in a high cost of living area while not making a high cost of living salary, which apparently you don't. You don't make enough money, apparently. Otherwise, you'd be able to afford it on a 15-year fix, so shut up. You're really looking at closer to $700K for something you would like and enjoy to be in. No, I'm not. I'm not even in your area, so I might not be looking in your area. So I don't care that you want something that you can afford. I don't care about that. What I care about is your financial well-being, and you're not going to be financially well off if you continue being dumb in this way. You know darn well that that's why the baby steps are like they are. That's why the advice is like it is. That's why the 25% on a 15-year fix is the rule, so you're not a dumbass and you commit all your money to doing that in baby step 3 and then buying the house, and then you don't have enough money to do steps 4, 5, and 6 fast. That's the idea, that you have more money, and so you know you won't have a lot of money if you do this, and so you're just trying to justify it. Here's my question comes in. Do I just keep grinding away until I reach this threshold? Yes. That's the way you do it. You don't take the easy way out. You did that crap before and you had the debt and you decided to pay it off. Now, why all of a sudden do you want to take on so much debt? Just because it's for a house and you think it's justified? It's not. I have super cheap rent compared to a mortgage. Great. That allows you to save higher down payment then. Great. I've been working extra side jobs since 2022. Great. That allows you to save a larger down payment. Did I say save a mortgage? I meant save a down payment before. So that those two things allow you to save a higher down payment. Well, so what's the problem? But I've started to take my foot off the pedal. Okay, a pedal is on a flower. PEDAL is the pedal, a gas pedal. Do I just need to throw cold water on my face and keep going? Yes, because you have some kind of problem here, and it might be called house fever. And sometimes for house fever, you do need to take a cold shower. Would appreciate any insight or thoughts, or if someone has been through similar. Thank you. Yeah, did you do the same thing? Do you not make enough money and wanna buy a house that is representative of making more money in a high cost of living area? Did you want to do that? Yeah, people do that dumbass crap all the time, and they end up calling Mr. Ramsey's show. So theoretically, since you've been on the plan a while, you already know all this, but you wanting a larger house is, and a more expensive house is taking away your sanity, apparently. So yes, you should keep going with the Ramsey advice. It is still the right advice no matter what you want. You don't see how your life can change the baby steps. You change your life to fit the Ramsey advice and the baby steps. So that means you stop wanting things that are too expensive, or you are got to be willing to be able to sacrifice and put in the time and the things like staying with the low rent, and working extra, and that allows you to have a larger down payment faster, and you can stop investing if you're doing that already. I don't remember if you are doing that already. If you are, you can stop for up to 2 years while you save an even larger down payment within that time period. People are nutty. I mean, what don't you understand about the general Ramsey advice is to know. You tell yourself no when you want something dumb, and it's just want. It's not a need. It's just a want. Hello, Space Girl. All right. Investing in grad school, that's going to be a no. You would do that after you get your grad school job. That is when you would start investing. What you do is you prioritize getting through grad school debt-free, and then you can start investing as soon as you do that. Now, 32, that's, you getting up there. Married with 2 littles, yeah, you are getting up there, and you are going to grad school late. Why? So that complicates things for sure. Debt-free besides the house, okay, that's a great position to be in, to want to be going back to grad school. And so if you're cash flowing the grad school, you might not even have enough money to start investing, or only just a little bit. So you should not do that again until you get your first job out of grad school. So let's see, we pay a lot for daycare right now. Yeah. Imagine that, $20,500 a year. Yeah. So that's why you would do like all the schooling and stuff, and not go back to school once you have 2 littles. Because that just makes it so much more difficult. It eats a lot of margin. I'm sure it does. Hey, what? Guess what? You're the one that made this life. You're the one that executed this life, that hit the start button on this exact path. You have to deal with the path that you have created for yourself. I'm a nurse. My husband is soon to undergo an apprenticeship in the elevator construction union. So where you're 32, I'm assuming husband is around the same age. Um, you're doing stuff that 20-year-olds should be doing. Instead, you're late to the game. So if you're a nurse, what is the grad school for then? He should finish in 4 years and be making close to 50 an hour plus overtime, etc. Okay, and in their mind, these people are already spending that money, and she's already spending grad school, post grad school job money as well. So you might not graduate. People are so dumb. And that's even if, I mean, the best case scenario is that you waste all of your own money on grad school and the apprenticeship, if that costs anything, that you are wasting your money instead of taking out loans for it, or like student loans. And so that's just dumb as crap. Hope to go back to graduate school in the next 10 years. CRNA, it is expensive. That's right. That's right, it is. I'm guessing I'll pay between $90,000 to $120K for the program by the time I'm ready to go. So you people want to be in school until you're 40, right? And how much more do you make as a CRNA that is worth $120,000? How much more are you going to make for that? Let's see. It should say here, I won't be able to work for 3 years during the program. How are you going to live and pay that daycare? Are you going to do that? You're going to do your grad school at night or something so that you don't have to do daycare anymore. So, that would be one of the things that you have to sacrifice. So, once I graduate, I will start upwards of $200,000 per year. How much does it say? It doesn't say how much she makes now. So, but it's not once I graduate. If I graduate. People do flunk out of graduate school, even nursing. Even if they're already a nurse, nursing graduate school, people do flunk out of that, I assure you. Or life events make it so that finishing is not the best thing to do. But again, you're already counting on that money of yours and the 200K and the 90 to 120K that your husband will make if he completes that apprenticeship, which that's not guaranteed either. Quit being dumb, people. Hoping I can go after daycare is not on the table anymore. And my husband will be able to float our expenses really at the what? At that time. Oh, you mean after he starts making the how much is he gonna do? Oh, once he starts making $50 an hour, he'll be able to pay for everything. But you don't know that that's going to happen. So here's the great thing. How about we do one thing at a time? People want to plan out everything all at the same time. How about we see how that goes? If he gets through the apprenticeship, if he actually makes $50 an hour plus overtime, if he actually does end up making that, and then see where your finances are. And hey, on the way to that, try not to spend any money that you don't need to spend. How about that? Because you, with one income plus needing to pay $130,000, $120,000, maybe, for the CRNA program. So where's that money going to come from? So he can float your expenses, and you would have money for that. Currently, our margin each month are slim. Yeah, maybe 500,000. Yeah. If we live right and do nothing, we do have our emergency fund, by the way, and our mortgage is over what you recommend. Of course it is. And this is how you get in trouble. This is also why your margins are thin. It would be thicker if you did not exceed the Ramsey recommendation. And this is not run by Dave Ramsey or Ramsey Solutions. This is just run by fans. So when you say your recommendation or what you recommend, no, I mean, I do recommend it, but only because Dave recommends it. But I'm sure you weren't talking to me. Let's see, at around 35% of our income. Yeah, that's too much. But we like to try and live a good life, try to live a good life, and treat our family every once in a while for quality of life, and that's just BS. If you want to do dumbass crap like you're planning on doing, you have to be willing to sacrifice in order to do that, and you have to wait. And you said you're planning on doing it within the next 10 years anyway, so it seems like you are planning to wait. So quit trying to plan it out. How about we say, well, the husband will do the apprenticeship, and then we'll see. And then we'll see where we are financially. How about you do that? And meanwhile, how about you lower the quality of life of your family as far as spending money, and you spend time together, which is enough, and do free things. Do free things out in the world with your family, and that will be plenty of quality of life. People are dumb. Anyway, currently we only match on 401k. You would not be doing that if you were going to be saving up for the college. And if your margins are so thin, I mean, I guess you're on step 4 right now, but can you afford to continue doing that, getting the match? Can you afford to do that and save up for what you need to do? Would it be smart to take any extra and fund a 529 for myself and let it grow in the market until I'm ready for grad school? No, because you might start in less than 5 years. And if you start in less than 5 years, then the market might be down right at the time you want to stop or start. So that's a no on that one. Or should I just fully fund 15% to retirement now and lock that down from use until 59.5? Yeah, I mean, you should be doing that. But you got to figure out what to do. The idea is that you would have to have enough money to do whatever you want to do as far as going to that grad school program. I mean, maybe the apprenticeship, maybe it doesn't pay anything, and so it doesn't cost anything either, but you're doing free work, maybe, I don't know, or a very minimum salary on that, so maybe it doesn't cost anything. But you need to sit down, as the people say. You can do it standing up, but some people like doing a sit down version of the budget meeting, and see what you have that you are spending money on your quality of life bull crap. And you can see what you can cut out and see what you can do, and be intentional with your spending, and include in there, budget out the $120,000. Where's that coming from? You think that's automatically coming from your husband making $50 an hour plus overtime? What does he do now, and how much money does he make? So left that information out. Then I'm not sure I'll have the amount I want by the time I'm ready to go to school. Indeed, you cannot do everything all at the same time, especially when you've got a 10% more house payment than you should have, because you're doing it wrong. I want to follow the steps. No, you don't. You want to do your dumb crap. instead of following the steps. You want to do your dumb crap. You want to do everything all at the same time. You're doing it wrong. So you don't want to follow the steps. But I also really want to pay up front for this degree as much as possible. What do you mean as much as possible? Where's the rest of the money coming from? If you're going to take out a loan, you're really not following the steps. So I don't know what to say to you. I mean, there's a couple things that I would ask for clarification on, like the husband's current job, and if the husband would be bringing in, how much income the husband is bringing in during the apprenticeship, that kind of thing. There's several questions I would ask if I were advising this person. But the end result is the same. In person, I might be a little bit nicer than saying you're being a dumbass, but that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, and you're lying when you say you want to follow the steps. No, you want to follow them if they work out for all your wants. But you are trying to do everything all at the same time, and that never works unless you have unlimited income or unlimited money. This is deleted. It got too hot, but not locked. So still open for comments. So it didn't get that bad, but it got too hot for the OP, the original poster here. Dave's elder care ideas and our parents. Let's see, David said over and over that he is funding $200,000 plus per year, his own elder care. Yeah. He could also self-insure, but he has insurance anyway because his wife wants to have that instead of like another diamond ring. He is also adamant about not ruining your own future by funding your parents' elder care. True. What about your own parent? What do you mean? He is also adamant about not ruining your own future by funding your parents' elder care. What about your own parents? What about them? My boomer/silent gen parents haven't planned. That is their fault. That it is not up to you to be their safety net. I mean, you can help them out, but generally, those people, your parents, in general, when people like you call the Ramsey show, generally the parents are continuing to do, not just haven't planned for elder care, but are making very bad financial decisions, and you giving them money or even otherwise helping them in any way just enables them to continue to do their dumb crap. They didn't care for their own greatest gen elders. Okay? Their sole investment, like most, is their house, which might bring in $700,000 to $850,000. If they have it paid off, though, they probably should stay there if they can, unless they need to be in a retirement home or something. One of my parents already has dementia, yeah, and is slipping fast, okay, and so, yeah, that's a thing that can happen. They are extremely fearful of going to a nursing home. Hey, man. I know with dementia, you might not be able to be reasoned with anymore, but it's either live by yourself with dementia or live in a nursing home with that somebody can take care of you with your dementia. And so the dementia person is probably not the one to try to reason with. How about try the non-dementia parent to see if you can get any help there. I've already been asked, as the only daughter, of course, to be the caregiver. Absolutely do not wish to be one and cannot imagine asking my daughter to do that. Right. By the way, I was already a caregiver to my late husband. All right. So maybe she's not a spring chicken herself. So I absolutely know what caregiving entails. I can't afford to fund any other care without ruining my own future elder care plans. Right. And so you don't have to do that. Now, a lot of other cultures put more emphasis on helping out the parents, and it's like anything for the parents. You know, they brought you into the world and, of course, provided you while you were children. So that means you have to pay for their stuff when they're older, even if they're doing dumb things with money. So, which is enabling. And so that's the thing that isn't included in those cultures. Parent taking care of ideas is that there has to be a governor in place for the, or emergency brake on that, on the idea that, oh yeah, I'll help, I'll do whatever it takes to take care of my parents. No, you don't do that if it enables them to make more dumb behavior, more dumb decisions with money. But I mean, the one that has dementia might not even know, and probably they should not have any control over any money, likely. So, and again, all that needs to be taken care of, but that's, and you can assist with that. You don't have to pay for any of it, but you can assist with, like, telling the non-dementia parent that you got to take away the money control. You got to take money access as well, because somebody with dementia can do anything at any time. So you can do something more like that without you can put in your time for them, give them, your time to try to get them in a better situation, regardless of what it is, and being outside, an outsider here, I don't know exactly what the best thing for them to be, but it might be a retirement home, even though they don't want to go. And again, the dementia person, if that's the main person that doesn't want to be in a retirement home, tough. Shouldn't have got dementia then, right? So there's a time when reality must enter the chat. And so you have to deal with the reality of the situation. And of course, somebody with dementia might not be capable of accepting reality. So, I mean, and you can be power of attorney, all that. Do check on that to see if that financially obligates you at all to put any of your money into their stuff. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I don't know if that does, but if it does, you wouldn't be the power of attorney either. Cute. Chipmunk, do you consider a college education for your children a purchase? Okay. So when people ask this question, and yes, I'm jaded as heck. When people ask this kind of question, that means they're trying to get around a baby step, or they're just trying to nitpick the advice in some way. We'll see. It's not a long one. We'll see. You probably have read ahead. Chrome has already, I know. They say a car. Some say car. They're likely your second most expensive purchase. That's the rose. Some say love, it is a river. Anyway, they say a car is likely your second most expensive purchase in your life after your home. But where does your kid's college education fit into that? The first most expensive and the second most expensive and the third and the 10th most expensive, that doesn't matter. That's an unnecessary thought. Now, I have unnecessary thoughts all the time, and you have to accept the reality. Again, big reality fan here. You have to accept the reality of that doesn't change any of the Ramsey advice at all, and that doesn't change whether you spend the money on it or not, or whether you can afford any of it. That doesn't change any of that. And so it doesn't matter if it's the first or second or third. And I don't know why you would think it does. Is it a separate category? And should your own education also be counted as a purchase in this thought process? It doesn't matter if it's a purchase or not. It's money going out the door, so it is an expense regardless. So why do you need to know if it's a purchase or not? You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't change the advice. So I don't get why it matters if it's called a purchase. 72 people weighed in, not knowing why it matters either, probably. And, you know, if it was fewer comments, I would check to see if anybody asked, why ask that? That's dumb. Ask a different question about it. How about instead ask the question that you're trying to get answered by asking this question, instead of the actual thing that you're actually worried about. The name of it, the category of it doesn't matter. It's still an expense, and so that goes in your budget. Doesn't matter if it's a purchase or an expense. Doesn't matter. It's still money leaving your bank account. Lalo Sup, excuse me. Should I fix my car or baby steps? Well, fix your baby steps, definitely. I believe this is probably supposed to say, should I fix my car or do the baby steps? Let's see. Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. Just wondering what I should do. I'm saving up to finish paying off my car, $4K. It does need about $2K in non-urgent vehicle maintenance. It's at that interval where it's recommended to this maintenance valve adjustment and replace a noisy cold start up part. Not sure what I should do. So it's like right there. If you can get away with it for another 2 months and have the car paid off, I would do that. And then start saving for this maintenance. So there you go. Pretty easy, huh? Pretty easy. If it's going to take a year to do that, then you might want to do the maintenance first. Winging away. When can I afford the second home? Second home is a toy. That means you pay for it in cash, even in lovely Silicon Valley, California. So that probably means never, because it's in California. Hi, here's my current situation. Hi, guys. Me and my wife, that would be my wife and I, both work in tech. You think in Silicon Valley, really? I am 40, she's 42. Kids are 2 years and 6-month-old. Home, 2.2 million. Home debt, $800K. Of course it is. Mortgage, $3,800. Car debt. Waiting to see what the income is. Car debt. So you shouldn't have bought a house while you have car debt. And you definitely can't afford a second house if you have car debt. You shouldn't have bought the first one even. 50K. 401K. 1 million in stocks. That's a no. You're doing everything wrong. So you don't care about the Ramsey advice about when you can afford a second home because you haven't bothered to look at any of his stuff, or you would know that everything you're doing is wrong. And let's hit that one time. Where is that? Yanosh from Ghostbusters 2 here.
If everything you're doing is bad, I want you to know this.
That's right. And why not? Let's hit the George as well.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
And he right. And I wish I still can't remember what he said on a recent show, like within the past 2 weeks, that I say all the time too. So, I mean, that would be fun if he's listening occasionally, but could just be a coincidence. But he had also never said you're doing it wrong before I heard that. That one day. You know, of course, that's not even incorrect. That's not even correct English. So the only reason I say it is because it's from this movie. Where is it? The original is from a movie called Mr. Mom from the 80s, and here we go.
You're doing it wrong.
Right. because he went in the wrong way in dropping the kids off to school when he had to start doing the mom role, as the mom could go back to work and make more money than he could. So he was being, anyway. So that's that. So where were we? We were answering questions. So 1 million stocks, 1 million cash. So you have 1 million in cash and 1 million in stocks, but you also have car debt. You're so dumb. You're so dumb. You do know that Mr. Ramsey is the no debt guy, right? We want to send both the kids to private school as, okay, so not only, so when can I afford something that's going to be really expensive? Oh, and here's more expensive crap that we want to do. And we're in California and I'm debt leveraging, so I'm doing everything wrong. So what do I do? The answer would be to follow all of Mr. Ramsey's advice and quit being dumb. Schools not good in, public schools are not good in the area. They're not. They should be for as much taxes as you guys pay. Or we can't, or we can think of buying another home in an area where the schools are good, but that will be around $2 to $2.5 million home. Well, you can afford it. You have, between the equity and your stocks and cash, you can buy that. And that's how you would buy that. But first you would pay off that dumbass car debt that you have. You're so stupid. For both of them, private school will be around $700K. I'd move before I would pay $700K for kids for private school, without counting the college and university. One of the main goals of our life is to leave both the kids. All right. And see, that doesn't matter for right now. You cannot do everything all at the time with one home each when we die and in the same area. No, you're not doing that. You're selling one to get the other. So you cannot do all of this crap all at the same time. And if you think you can, you're dumb as crap. It's not sustainable to do that. You might be able to borrow enough money and mortgage yourself to death for a little while. That's not going to work in the long term. You don't make enough money. We do not want to move to any other place in the country where real estate is cheaper because weather won't be as good. Okay, well, keep being a dumbass then. You're putting so many limits on yourself as to what you're willing to sacrifice, which is nothing. Wife does not want to sell this home because the interest rate is so good, and I understand that. Well, then stay there and the public schools will be fine. Quit being dumb. I think of buying a $2 million home now with $700K of down payment. The mortgage will still be around $11K, which is quite a bit. Yeah, it is, because you want to do everything with money all at the same time. You're proving that by doing your dumbass debt leveraging, having a freaking $1 million in cash and $1 million in single stocks, $1 million in single stocks, while you're carrying $50K in car debt. You're so stupid. That's all dumb. Even if there was no Dave Ramsey, that would still all be dumb. Debt leveraging is not a thing that you should be doing. If you're fine with it, knock yourself out. Go keep doing it. Keep doing it and why are you asking when you can afford it? The answer is not for the foreseeable future. Maybe never if you keep doing this dumb BS. What about cats? Why do a lot of people want to be landlords? That's a great question. That's one of my things. Not everybody should be a landlord. I'll raise the ante on that. I'll go all in on that and say most people shouldn't be landlords. And, it's just like the lady doesn't want to sell, the wife here doesn't want to sell the house because of the 2.85 interest rate. Fine, don't move then and don't buy a second home. Quit being stupid. Yeah, and people shouldn't be landlords. Most people should not be landlords. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of trouble. You can make, a lot of times, you can make more money in the market by investing, and mutual funds do not have roofs that break. They don't have problems. They don't have, tenants that are breaking your mutual fund. They don't have, late payers. They don't have tenants that are too loud or whatever, and the other people near them don't like it, and they call and complain. Let's see. I get owning a home and paying it off is freedom. Okay, great. So, and that should be, again, should be a period there. People always have a but. At what point do you say, okay, now let me buy more homes so other families don't have a chance at it? You don't ever say that. That's not a good reason to say that. Edit, thank you a lot for the genuine comments and sharing personal stories and perspectives. Clearly a gray area that surfaces passion in a lot of people here. Must have edited some things out too, or just didn't make a lot of sense with the original thing. So if it ended right there, other families having a chance at it, that's not your responsibility to not buy something so that somebody else has a chance to get it. That's not part of the Ramsey advice at all. If you want to buy a house, you can get it, but you don't do that until you are in step 7, and you do that completely in cash, just like for a second home. That's right, second home here. And so, no, you can move, but you have to sell your first home. Did we do one more or not? Let's see. No, I guess, when's the next stream? I believe there's no stream tomorrow at all because I'm working 12 to 9 or something like that, working a little bit extra tomorrow. So that's past the 8 p.m. and that's also going to keep me from doing the Friday after show right after the Ramsey show in the morning. So it's going to keep me from doing both of those. But Saturday and or Sunday, I'll do it. And last week I did it. This past weekend I did it both. So I can probably do it both again, but I'm not going to commit to that. So the next stream would be Saturday night, probably. Saturday or Sunday night, depending on if I do Saturday or not. So what we'll talk about then is the one car is about to be paid off, what to do. Hopefully that's you got 2 car payments. So what you do is then you have more money to pay off the second one. So we'll see what they're, probably a dumb question about it. It's just that then you go to the next debt on your snowball, which is the other car. And I'm hoping that there's no bigger student loan debt on top of that. Best way to utilize the HSA, now the health savings account. That is a tax advantage savings account that you can use for to pay for medical expenses. But another thing you can do is use it as an extra tax advantage retirement fund or any kind of fund you want to use it for. If you cash flow all medical expenses, then you can keep the investments in the HSA and they keep growing over time. So it's like it would be for more people, more closer to baby step 7 than baby step 1 for sure, and closer to 7 than to 4 even as well, because you would be doing the 15% of gross income into retirement and not the HSA. You wouldn't put any money instead into the HSA. That would be for extra investing if you are using it for strictly an investment and not just a tax advantage where you can invest, but that money is all supposed to go theoretically to medical expenses. But if you are paying them out of your pocket, then you don't have to touch the money in the HSA. Which loan to pay first? That would be the smallest. If we check out the baby steps here, it says pay off all debts except the house using the debt snowball. And debt snowball means you're paying them off what? Smallest to largest. Yes. So all your little typing here does not change that advice. That's why people are nutty. Let's see. Anon Con 3. Roth or traditional 401k? A Roth, always. Because the amount, a lot of people say, oh, well, I'll be in a lower tax bracket when I retire. Yeah, but if you have any appreciable time, like say, from 30 to 60, or even more time than that, the amount of your gains are going to be way more than the amount of your contributions. So why would you want to pay all taxes on all the gains, even if it's at a lower rate? So you're still going to be better off not owing the money in retirement, because then you can take out that money and not have any tax events. How about that? And that's why that is prioritized over the traditional 401k. Match is first because that's 100% rate of return on any match that they give you. That's first. Second would be a Roth IRA. Or Roth 401k is fine as well if your company has it, offers it. Not all of them offer it. And then third would be the traditional, if you have to go back and forth between them. Only on Tuesdays. How to manage a car budget. What budget? You're going to buy one, then we'll replace it with a used car in about 10 years. Stop that crap. It might be running fine. People are so dumb with that. People are trying to plan out every little thing. And you have no idea what the situation is going to be in 10 years. There may not be cars in 10 years. There still will be. That's path forward. New here. We are going to have probably teleportation one day, though. New here, although I've been following Dave from a distance for some time. Here's the situation. We both retired. The best path forward would be to follow the Ramsey advice, whatever it is. We'll find out what that is and what they're trying to do wrong, most likely. 6 expert recommended financial hacks to save thousands and help you feel secure and free. Investopedia, and all right. Whatever. I'm not going to look at that, but whatever. It's financial. So, if you're interested, check it out. Mysterious Can 2846. And don't be surprised if none of it is Ramsey approved. Because, probably all of it is financial hacks. That sounds to me like debt leverage. Is this too much house? Yes. It's in the school district we want. I don't give a crap. Get it around 800 to 850K. 1.1 million net worth, made of what? 550 house. Well, you sell that. So that's almost half of it. And then 200K in retirement. You don't take out the retirement to buy the house. One income, 300K a year. So if you use all the equity here, and we'll say 500 to make it easy, and we'll say it's half of it, you should put some down payment in as well. So that's going to be a $500,000 mortgage, and on $300,000, you should be able to afford that. But not if you have any debt. It doesn't look like you have any debt, so it looks like you will make it under the 25 cent there. 2 rental properties cash flowing with total 200K of equity in them. Okay, here's where you lose me. You do not do that dumb crap. You do not get a mortgage on a house at all when you already have mortgages on rental properties. You're doing it wrong. So, and the 150K in stocks, you would not have that in non-retirement. You would pay off your dumb ass house and your dumb ass rental properties that you shouldn't have. Can we afford this house? If you move around everything as Mr. Ramsey suggests, you might be able to get that still. But you won't have rental properties, or you'll have to pick one to sell, and then you could pay off the other one too at the same time you pay off your residence. And then again, you could sell the residence and one property, and then be able to buy the house and hopefully pay off the rental property as well. But mortgage on rental properties, that's a no. Business stuff, and that rentals are business stuff, and all that has to be done in cash. But that's so much. Yeah, I know. And so if you don't have the cash, you don't do that. Buy a house or save for retirement. If you don't have retirement, that should take priority. I guess 55 and 62, that's getting up there. So, I mean, it's not too late. You can still make it happen if you're talking about a cheap house. But we'll see what their actual situation, or maybe they'll have something to say that changes the general advice. But it would be probably it just depends on what the money they got coming in, et cetera, whether they should buy a house or save for retirement. If they don't have enough money coming in to pay off the mortgage, then there's none of that anyway. So you would still continue renting. How to take care of my addict father's money. Well, there's another thing where you have to become, he can't have access to it, so you have to be power of attorney again. And I don't know if there's any financial liability of the power of attorney for somebody. So you'd have to check with the lawyer on that. You'd have to check with the lawyer anyway to get power of attorney. Educator ready. Pay past due payments or $1,000 in savings. Past due payments. Get current is part of baby step 0, which comes before baby step 1, the $1,000 emergency fund. That was easy. Pay off house or invest. The investing would be debt leverage while you still have a mortgage. So that's a no. And this person knows darn well that that's it too. Almost certainly. So just trying to do it wrong. Everybody wants to do it wrong. Everybody wants to do the financial bro advice instead of the Ramsey advice. And so since they want to do the financial bro advice, I don't know why they're all on the Ramsey subreddit. But it is good, good content for me. And it allows me to say,
you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So cool. Alrighty, once more, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial. Reading Chrome. In a second home, that's not a starter home. Yeah, that was from a long time ago. Where was I? Financial Coach, yes. Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you are having money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me. Just email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. It's right up there. You can also use that for any questions about finances, financial coaching, or anything on my YouTube channel, or anything else on your mind. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Alternatively, the Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney. It was not taken. Or a Walmart gift card you can do to coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and they'll send that to me digitally. So nice. Walmart's so nice about that. Upcoming streams, as always, subject to change. The Ramsey Show After Show, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And that would be, we already did that one, didn't we? Yes, we did. We did the August 27th one. Next one is Monday, September 1st, unless I can get a shift working on Labor Day to get that double time. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, September 3rd, 4th, and 5th will also be after shows. Answering your financial question streams at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That will be, this is tonight, Thursday, August 28th, and then Saturday and or Sunday, August 30th and 31st. Alrighty. Also, what time is it? About 9:45 or so. I am thinking about starting a Last of Us part 2 stream, the chronological gameplay playthrough that I'm doing right now. So thinking about that, unless something really distracts me or figure out something that I need to do instead of that. So that may happen. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. That means no second houses and dumb crap like that.